You're listening to the official Wrestling News Source podcast. For all your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com or find us on Facebook by searching WrestlingNewsSource.com or WNS Podcast. Now, here are your hosts, Daniel Herron, Tyler Abear, and Doug.
That's right. What's up, everyone? I am Daniel Herron.
I'm Tyler Abear.
I'm Doug.
And we welcome you to episode 113 of the official podcast for WrestlingNewsSource.com. For all of your information, go to WrestlingNewsSource.com. Check us out on Facebook, WrestlingNewsSource.com. You can find us on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video, and on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast.
And on Twitter is at WNS Podcast for the main site, WNS Source.
You can follow us on Tout at WNS Podcast.
There you go. So welcome to the show, everyone. It's probably not going to be the longest show that we've ever done, mostly because I'm not feeling too well. Tyler's not feeling too well. Doug, I'm sure you're pretty tired from working all day. So it's going to be, going to kind of run through the topics of what happened this week. We postponed the show mostly because I wasn't feeling too well. Late breaking news as far as what happened. For those of you who did not hear, William Moody, a.k.a. Paul Bearer, passed away this week. He was 58 years old, and apparently he had been having trouble breathing over the past few weeks. He canceled a few appearances and upcoming shows that he was scheduled to attend. Was admitted into the hospital, and unfortunately, he passed away. So the legendary manager of The Undertaker, Kane, Mankind, so many others, has passed away, and it was kind of shocking to me because it seems sort of out of the blue about it. What were your guys' first thoughts about hearing the news?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I haven't heard anything before that, if he had any condition or,
Yeah, I guess he kind of...
Apparently a blood clot.
Yeah.
How old was he?
58, I believe.
Oh,
So, not
still sad, man.
Yeah. Just really tough to handle, and it's always tough dealing with someone that you kind of grew up watching. So it's certainly really sad. We certainly want to wish all of our condolences to the family, the friends, the fans who love this man. We attempted to reach out to have him on the show in the past. Unfortunately, his schedule would not allow us to. But it's one of those things, we've made a mention of it before, where it was nice of him just to respond, because a lot of the people, they claim that they're busy, which is understandable. They get a lot of requests to be on lots of different shows, but he took time to respond, to thank us for the invitation, and unfortunately decline. But if you go to WrestlingNewsSource.com, there is a previous interview that was held before WrestlingNewsSource.com was Wrestling News Source. It was Wrestling Radio. You can go there and listen to the interviews from 2008, in which Paul Bearer was a guest on the show. But what are your guys' thoughts over the career of William Moody, Percy Pringle, Paul Bearer? He's just
iconic.
Yeah, very definitely iconic. He was a wrestler and entertainer for sure. Everyone that I've seen make posts about him, not a negative thing said. Just an all-around nice guy, fun to be around, and it's just very, very upsetting that he's gone. So, Doug, what are your thoughts on the passing of Paul Bearer?
I'm sad to see anybody go, especially someone that I was a big fan of. But I'm not going to be able to say anything any more eloquently than anyone else or anything. Just again, condolences to his friends and his family.
Yeah.
Sad to see the guy go.
Yeah, and if one thing you can say is that at least he's been reunited with his wife, who passed away a few years ago. So, just something for to take a positive from it. But as far as his career, the WWE has had a sort of a habit of, well, I wouldn't say they've had a habit. They've done it a couple of times, but after someone passes away, they tend to induct them into the WWE Hall of Fame a little bit sooner than normal, such as Eddie Guerrero, or not to say after death, but after a unexpected ending of a career in the form of Edge.
I think it just depends on the person too.
Yeah,
because of course, well, they didn't do Macho Man.
Yeah, and that's the reason why I say they don't make it
Also,
a habit of doing something like that.
I mean, another reason why, but also Chris Benoit.
Yeah. So
Macho is a little bit different. Supposedly, they had reached out to induct him.
And his brother wanted the whole family in, right?
Yeah,
Something
as a package deal.
But
okay.
But do you guys think that Paul Bearer will be sort of a do you think that they'll induct him into the Hall of Fame ceremony this year, or do you think they'll let the family sort of have some time and say, well, let's get him for next year's?
Probably get some time.
Yeah.
I mean, I would give them some time. I don't think there's a rush to do it.
Right.
I mean, he's for sure a Hall of Famer,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think there's any rush to do it. I don't think it's like I don't think it's like bad. It would be bad of them to not do it this year. I don't think that's a big deal. I mean, that's not. I mean, the man's dead. I mean, like a real live person died. I mean, like accolades are one thing, but they don't really mean anything in real life. I mean, I don't think there's a long time for all that stuff.
Yeah. It's really tough, touching on that subject because, if you don't induct him, you're going to receive backlash. And if you do induct him, you're going to receive backlash for it being too soon. So, it's kind of...
I don't think there's backlash for not inducting him this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of that backlash stuff is over people that fans think should have been in a long time ago.
Right. So, but more than likely he'll, almost guaranteed he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. It's just really sad because, 58, it's still... in this day and age with medicine and stuff like that, that's still fairly young to go. But they, the report said that he was dealing with obesity and had some breathing problems and stuff like that. So it just, kind of added up to him. But
shit, they just cured a kid with HIV the other day, or supposedly.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
I think that's the future, though. I mean, like, I think we're gonna generally be moving towards being able to cure things, and then the stuff you have to watch out for is like spur of the moment stuff that you don't know you have.
Yeah. Like if you don't catch it in the
right.
first 3 days or something, you're just gone. But yeah, it's sad to see him go, but his memories will certainly be there, and it's just tough because it was pretty much out of the blue, but the show must go on.
Yeah.
I didn't realize we were gonna start with that. It's kind of a downer, but I do just want to thank a couple of people really quickly for iTunes reviews.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm pulling it back up. Big Lenny 26 and Alan Y Hamilton, or I hope
Did we get 2?
We got 2.
Oh man, it shows how often I check.
Yeah. So thanks a lot to those guys. They gave us really positive, really favorable reviews, and we really appreciate you guys taking the time to not only throw us some stars but some words as well, and very much appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We certainly do appreciate it.
We do.
Does that get a woo?
Yeah, and we owe Thomas a little more than a post, I believe, on the Facebook page. His birthday was last Friday. He did message us after we had recorded the show.
Probably like 20 minutes after we recorded it.
And but yeah, we do want to. I mean, he's our Bound for Uli series winner. Great guy, always active with us, and we appreciate that. And he's a big 18. He's a man. He's all grown up, and yeah,
He's
man.
mine.
Thomas, very happy birthday. I hope it was awesome, dude. I hope you had a killer time. And, man, happy birthday, man. Sincerely, from us.
Happy birthday to you. Drop it low.
Yeah, man, we appreciate all you guys. And, just thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah. So thank you to those who posted the iTunes reviews. Certainly do appreciate it. Did you read them? Because like my memory is like I'm so far out of it right now.
I didn't read like the whole the post. Did you want me
Okay.
to read the post?
Yeah, or I can read them if you like, or
Okay,
or we
that's
can
fine.
both read them.
That's fine.
From Alan E. Hamilton, saying, "Great listen every week. Love the views each of you bring to us. Just wanted to give a shout out to the best podcast for wrestling on the web." So
Thank you.
thank you for that
Thank you.
one. And also Big Lenny 26 saying, "This is by far the funniest and most informative podcast ever. Keep it up, guys." So thank you once again for the kind words. Just head on over to iTunes, search Wrestling News Source Podcast, and you can subscribe to our shows. And sometimes it's tricky. It doesn't always update automatically, but
Sometimes you think I left a review on a show recently, and it doesn't automatically show.
yeah.
So just because it's not there doesn't mean it didn't happen.
But thank you, Doug, for bringing that up for bringing up the iTunes reviews because in the process of typing out what we're going to talk about for the show,
Well, I was gonna kind of try to start lumping that in with listener feedback, which I don't.
Yeah.
I don't believe we had any of last week.
mm-mm.
May be mistaken, but I don't believe so.
Had a lot of people complimenting that it was one of our funniest shows. Thanks to Tex Lone Star.
Yeah, very big thanks to Tex Lone Star. I don't know if we thanked him last week officially on the air, but we really do appreciate him. He drove down to be in the studio
Yeah.
with us, and we really appreciate that.
Yeah. And we got to have all kinds of fun at Doomsday Wrestling Textravaganza.
Yeah, it was a hell of a show. It's always a good show with those guys. If you can make it,
Please do.
Yeah, if you're able to physically be there and you're not, then you're really missing out, guys. That's no bullshit from us. It's a really great time. We traveled to go and see it. So we're not just blowing smoke and kissing asses. It's a really good time, and you're really missing out if you can't be there in person and you don't.
Yeah. And we ran into our buddy Jim, the ring announcer for Gulf Coast, as well as other various promotions. He came out, and I talked to him for a little bit, and he was like, I've heard so many people talking about this, I decided to check it out for myself. And he went inside and checked out the size of the ring, and he was like, "You got to be kidding me with this, right?" And I'm like, "No, just watch." And by the end of it, he was,
because it was so big.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was so big.
it was like, this is ridiculous. How are they gonna wrestle a match in this?
Right.
But by the end of it, he was laughing and having a great time, and said that he had definitely enjoyed it. So, do yourself a favor, like Doug said, if you're within traveling distance of Doomsday for the next show, definitely go and check it out. And don't worry, we'll let you know when the next show comes available, because I'm sure that we'll have Tex back on the show once we get the word out. So,
For sure.
Had a great time out there. All kinds of laughs were had. Got a severe case of deja vu.
Space time continuum was
Yeah.
running amok.
Calendar.
Doomsday wrestling heavyweight champion of
26. No, 26. 40-26.
40-26.
Yeah. 'Cause it's 2013.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You showed up.
Disrupting the space-time continuum to challenge Lil Dickens for the Doomsday Championship of all time.
Of all the times.
Of all the times. And Patrick Swayze was there.
Yeah.
Buddy Holly was there.
Sam Houston.
General Sam Houston was there.
Great honor.
Nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought that those guys, once they passed on from the earthly planes, they would become interdimensional space cops? If all this sounds like something you would be interested in, you're definitely going to check out Doomsday.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And special thanks to Tex and all the guys from Doomsday and girls who invited us along to the after party. So I got to party with the gang, and some of us came up to us and said, "Oh, you are those podcast guys, huh?" So I guess they checked out the show and enjoyed it. So for those who happen to be listening this week, thank you very much, and we certainly had a blast. So all kinds of fun. So how you guys doing? Hanging in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and dive on into old school Raw. We got to see the return of the old school Raw entrance and ring ropes and all things olden times, I guess. We kicked the show off with The Undertaker returning.
He just came out and then commercial and he left.
Yeah. So that was pretty much it. And he had the WrestleMania logo behind him, and that was pretty much the end of it. And then CM Punk came out and basically said that his WrestleMania dreams were shattered until he saw The Undertaker. And now he wants to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania. But then Orton comes out, and Sheamus comes out, and Big Show come out, and they all want to fight The Undertaker too. But Vicky Guerrero decides that a fatal four-way will decide it instead of a tag match because, only one person can do it, and she's not Teddy Long. So we got to go into the first match. We saw Ryback going up against Antonio Cesaro, and Ryback gets the victory on this one. So
As always.
Before we go into that match, were you guys happy with like how that whole thing played out?
With CM Punk.
The opening segment.
I got to be honest, I missed the first hour of it. I was sleeping.
Are you talking about just Undertaker coming out or like CM
Just
Punk?
like the whole thing. I don't.
I didn't really care for it. I mean, I know they all wanted to face Undertaker, but that was pretty much all. I mean, I got out of it. It's like they're gonna have a match, and
Well, I like in theory that a lot of people were willing to challenge or were wanting to challenge the streak. I like that in theory because it like puts over the streak and makes it feel really important. Felt kind of weird that Punk came out like immediately after Taker, and then said that's what he wanted to challenge him instead of like
Going for the title.
right. I get that to set up like the match, you have to like first and foremost, you have to let everyone know Taker's back and he is going to have a match.
Mhm.
So I get that why he has to come out first, but it makes it feel weird that Punk would just come out immediately after and like challenge him. Like, why wouldn't he have just like interrupted or like attacked him as he came out? Felt a little weird. I wasn't crazy about Punk's promo because he was like, oh, he kind of was like, well, my dreams were shattered, like you said. But so I was thinking like, oh, what's the point of you even being there? Blah blah whatever. And then he was like, oh, well, yeah, I can challenge the streak. So they came off a little weird. I question the placement. If you're not going to have him interrupt Taker as he comes out, felt like they could have pushed it a little deeper in the show to where it wasn't like immediately after Taker left, then Punk comes out. I don't know. I guess that's it.
I saw one person's theory that they said they could have done as far as CM Punk. He could have come out and said, you fans broke my streak of 434 days of holding the title, so I'm going to break a streak of my own, and I'm going to challenge The Undertaker or something like that.
He kind of mentioned that in the promo to a degree. I mean, not that specifically, but he was like, you talk about impressive numbers. You think like 20 is impressive, but I had 434. Yeah. I don't know. It just felt a little weird. Like they could have like positioned the two appearances on the card better to make it seem less. I get like challenging the streak is a big deal, and I'm glad, and it did kind of put it over that so many people wanted to challenge, and I'm fine with that. But it just felt like if you're going with Punk and Taker, I thought they were gonna have something a little bit more
start the feud
than that.
Gotcha. So I guess do what they felt necessary. You know how their writers can be with rewrites, sudden incidents and stuff. But that takes us into the first match where Ryback ends up defeating Antonio Cesaro. So what were you guys' thoughts on this matchup? I feel like we've seen this match a few times, haven't we?
More than a few.
Yeah. And, the end tends to be the same with Ryback getting the win over Cesaro, either via disqualification, count out, or pinfall. So why are they continuously putting these two together?
Well, I think they're in this weird limbo where they don't know what they want to do with a lot of the guys that they have for Mania, and they haven't in general been doing a particularly good job of keeping guys who need to be kept special and kept safe and kept strong away from each other. They
Yeah.
have a tendency to book guys who need to look strong in matches against each other. And they have a tendency to like be high on a guy for a while and then be like, okay, well, he's disposable now.
Yeah.
They have that stutter step push that they like to do. Cesaro's spot seems to be that he can beat anybody mid card or below, but he's going to be jobbing to Orton, or he's going to be jobbing to Ryback and the like. I just think it's indicative of like the overall problem is they have like 2 matches that they know they're going to do and they know what they're going to do. And then they have a lot of stuff where they kind of sacrificed a lot of the other guys to make those matches happen. So a lot of guys are in these weird limbo and they don't have anything to do but apparently for them to beat each other, which makes all the people who aren't in those like 3 matches that they know they're doing look like not special at all.
Yeah.
It was a fine match though. It was pretty solid work from both guys as you come to expect. Cesaro is just on another level right now. Love that guy. Like the old school look, ditching everything, going like the plain blue tights.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Finish was fucking awesome with him hitting a really snug European that actually split Ryback's lip open. And
Hell
yeah, he teased the neutralizer that Ryback didn't counter into the shell shock, but it was a pretty solid little match, and the finish was really cool. And I just like the fact that Cesaro split Ryback's lip with a European. So
If you can make a god bleed, they will no longer believe he's God.
we kind of spoke like aesthetically on like Ryback's on Cesaro's throwback tights. I kind of question the idea of doing like an old school Raw in the build to Mania, especially when you have so many guys that you don't know what you're doing with, or you're not sure exactly what's going on with the majority of your roster.
Yeah.
This is a show for later in the year, not for like the build to Mania.
Or even like the 20th anniversary of Raw, where you could have had all these superstars from the past show up in Houston, Texas that we were at.
Any time but the build to Mania. It's just not the right time. Although I will say that it's always a joy to see, like aesthetically, it's like always a joy to see like the throwback, the ring and the outfits for the announcers and the officials and the videos and the old graphics.
Even
always
the gate or the security barriers and stuff.
Right. Yeah, it's always cool to see that stuff. I love that. It's just like the wrong place in the year for them to do something like this, especially when they don't know what they're doing with so many guys.
Yeah. So definitely need to be building towards Mania instead of, questioning what they're going to be doing next. But after the match, Mark Henry comes out to get ready for his matchup, and he and Ryback have sort of a stare down. So do you think this is possibly going to lead to a match between them at Mania?
I think it's most definitely what they're looking to do. And I, for one, am very excited about that.
All right.
Something would really like to see, actually.
Definitely.
Dominance.
So, next up, we got to see Mark Henry go up against Zack Ryder, and this was just a quick little match, which Henry ends up getting the victory. Anything to cover from it?
Ryder's push me tights are really annoying.
So next up, we got to see Miz and Cody Rhodes go up against each other, with Miz getting the victory via figure 4. What did you guys think about this matchup?
It felt like it just drug out for me. I wasn't into the match at all. I guess I get that they're putting Miz over because his movie was dropping the day after.
Mm-hmm.
They did a lot of pub for that on this show.
Did he at least apply the figure 4 correctly?
He did.
Okay.
Yeah.
I still feel like Flair is a waste on Miz.
They said they don't want. Well, yeah, I know for Miz, but they said they don't want him doing too much because he has like a.
Flair.
Something's wrong with him. I don't know what.
Yeah, he's not in the best physical condition, and so they're gonna limit him to what he does. That being Flair. But yeah, Miz ends up defeating Cody Rhodes via the figure 4. Next up, we got to see the Rock and John Cena confrontation. The build up for WrestleMania has begun. I'm glad that they're doing this a little bit sooner than they did the last matchup. The last one, it seemed like they were doing it like only 2 weeks out before they actually finally had their confrontation. Cena coming out basically saying, you were the cause of my downfall. You're the reason my year was so bad. But I decided that this year I was going to turn things around. I won the Royal Rumble just as you were winning the title. Do you think that the reason why I put my match against you on the line is because I knew that this was going to be my year, so I'm going to have the chance to basically rewrite history whenever I defeat you. And The Rock sort of responded, you think you can beat me, but I know that I can beat you. And
Cena went as far as to say that Rock was the cause of not only like professional problems, but personal problems as well, alluding to the divorce, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
Making it personal now. So, they even threw quotes at one another, Mike Tyson and Lance Armstrong. And so what were y'all's thoughts about this confrontation?
I thought it was fine, but for some reason, it just left me like, I just wanted more out of it.
Yeah.
I don't. It's hard
More
to
intensity?
say. It's hard to say exactly what. I mean, they can't put their hands on each other yet. It's not time for all that. But, they're just leaving me with something, and I'm not even quite sure what I want. I just know I want more than what I'm getting. If that makes any kind of sense. I just feel like there is a lot to be desired. I didn't feel like anything was bad or necessarily anything was bad, but I don't know. I don't know what I want. I just know I want more from these guys.
I know by the end of it, the Raw before WrestleMania, I want it to be like the Cena-Lesnar confrontation where they have to be pulled apart, because they're ready to just tear each other.
I think they're past that, though, now. I think now it's like we don't like each other, but we have a mutual respect kind of a thing.
I don't know. How about you, Tyler?
I feel the way Doug does. It's mutual respect between each other.
Okay.
But I was fine on the whole thing.
Okay. Next up, we got to see Jack Swagger come out, and he ends up laying out Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter, and Dusty Rhodes with Jim Duggan's 2x4. So the match never really gets going. And backstage, he was asked why he did
American Legends.
it. Yeah. He basically asked, well, what have they done? And Del Rio ends up attacking him backstage, so the brawl ensues. So what did y'all think about the whole sequence?
I get it was done for heat. Like, I understand that. I get that technically it makes sense because all these guys have gimmicks associated with America in some way. But I don't really feel like it goes with Swagger's gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Because if anything, like,
doesn't go with it because he's beating up American Legends.
Well, he's beating up people that he hasn't professed a problem for.
Yeah.
He just happens to say, like, I mean, he's doing the whole. They all have ties to America in their gimmicks, and he beat them up because he's doing he's
the real American,
right? But from the problems he stated and what he has a problem with has absolutely nothing to do with these guys. Like, it just didn't fit his gimmick for me. So I get what they're trying to do. I get it's for heat, and I get that it's tied at least in name. Or at least in theme, but it doesn't go with his gimmick. I don't know why they did it. It was just an excuse to parade those dudes out there. Although I love seeing Dusty. He didn't do much, but I love you, Dusty Rhodes.
Next up, we got to see Team Hell No go up against the Primetime Players, and the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, was out there alongside the Primetime Players.
I missed this match.
Yeah, this is where I finally got to come in and see. The matchup was pretty good. Team Hell No gelled in this one, so it appears like they've gotten back on the same page again, and they end up.
For how long?
I know, right? Up until Mania, I guess. I was thinking earlier today, no matter what type of match Daniel Bryan is in, he has to get a victory to redeem his loss last year and the year before when his match was scheduled for WrestleMania, but it got scrapped. So I feel like they kind of owe him one. They owe him a victory, no matter what
Eventually.
it is. Right? But Doug, what were your thoughts on the matchup?
Oh, it was a solid match. DiBiase made a lot more sense than anyone else they used. Any quote unquote legend, or not quote unquote, any other legend that they used. He at least fit $1 million man with the millions of dollars, and they asked him to be their manager. So like that makes sense why he was down there. Of course, they didn't get the W, and he wasn't impressed, so he had to
stuff the $100 bill down his throat and
stuff the hundy in the mouth. And Brian
funny moment from Brian,
snagged it and put it in his tights.
That was pretty humorous. I got a kick out of that one. So
I don't agree with you though. I think if they with Brian, I think he's jobbing again at Mania. If it's a tag match,
they'll probably end up losing
they're going to lose
belt,
the straps. If it's singles match, if they lose it before then and they have a singles match, I think Brian goes over. But if they're dropping the belts if they have a tag match.
I just want to see Daniel Bryan get a WrestleMania victory. That's all. I don't want to have to wait another year to see it. Well, it would make it more special if we are there to see it, to see his first victory. So
right. It'll probably be more high profile next year.
Yeah. So next up, we got to see Brodus Clay, Tensai, and the Honky Tonk Man go up against 3MB. And this was just a really quick matchup where Brodus, Tensai, and Honky Tonk Man got the victory, and Honky Tonk smashed his guitar over Heath Slater.
Man, he already had the transformation. He with the whole suit and the new wrestling outfit for
Tensai. Yeah. So kind of they're kind of embracing Sweet Tea, yeah. And they're still looking for a tag team name.
Well, he was already the hip hop or the hip hop hippo before, right?
Was he? I'm trying to remember
when he tagged with God. God, my mind's blank. Continue and I'll Google it.
Okay. So next up we got to almost see the debut of Fandango, who was supposed to go up against Kofi Kingston, but because Justin Roberts wouldn't pronounce his name right.
Scotty Too Hotty. Why did I not?
Oh, wow. I didn't even know they tagged together, so. Yeah. So bravo for you. But yeah, what do y'all think about the... First off, we've had months of these video promos for the debut of Fandango.
Fandango.
Whatever, man.
Get it right. He won't perform.
I don't care. At this point, I don't want to.
You're so pissed off that he's not performing and say his name correctly.
Fandango.
All right, there you go.
That good?
Good.
All right. Okay. So we've had months of video promos hyping his debut, and we never see it. Then he finally debuts, and he doesn't debut. So what are your guys' thoughts on, first, the length of time that they've taken promoting this guy, and now him not debuting as part of his character?
That's kind of weird, huh?
Are you annoyed? Okay, you're supposed to be.
I've never seen something like that though before.
Does it annoy you that he hasn't?
No,
debuted?
they've done something similar to it with MVP, where he basically came out and was cutting promos saying, "I'm not going to wrestle until you offer me the highest contract."
I don't remember that.
It was on SmackDown. He basically, he was saying, "Oh, I'm the greatest wrestler you'll ever have in this company, and I'm not wrestling until I get the highest paid contract in the WWE."
Yeah.
Something like that.
If you're annoyed by it, then it's working. If you're indifferent, then it's not.
Oh. Fandango. So,
you haven't seen enough of him for it to be go away heat. So if he has any heat at all, then he's doing his job. If you're annoyed,
I just think it's gonna build towards disappointment for whenever he finally gets in the ring, and
what are they gonna be so disappointed because he took so long to debut? Then they're not going to like him, and then they're going to boo. Oh wait, that's what they want to happen. If you don't care, then if you're like whatevs, then that's the problem. But if you're annoyed, you're supposed to be.
Okay. I don't know. I guess
Mark, you're getting so worked right now.
Then I'm not feeling well.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I know. My name's Daniel, not Mark. It's so mean. All this time on the show, and you can't even learn my name.
No, can't be bothered.
Oh, well, next up we got to see Triple H come out, cut a promo on Brock Lesnar, calling him out. to face him at Mania. And are you just going to sit there and bleed, or are you going to face me in the ring? So, I think we all saw this coming, Brock Lesnar versus Triple H at Mania, although Lesnar will officially respond next week. But what are y'all's thoughts about the promo and the upcoming match?
I really didn't like the promo because he tried to dip back to, I'm the cerebral assassin. He tried
I'm back, baby.
He tried to his promo leading up to where he challenges him. He talks about, he's like, I've still been training every day, and I've just been looking for an excuse to get in the ring. I've just been looking for an excuse to wrestle, and there you gave me an excuse. He's like, it's not that you hurt. Or he basically, I can't remember if he flat out said it or if he was just kind of like alluding to it. He was like, it's not really personal. You didn't make it personal. It's just like, I've been waiting for an excuse to wrestle because I am the game, and you just gave me the excuse I needed.
And it was also like, I even tried to hide it by putting on a suit and cutting my hair and,
Yeah, I mean,
but I
like,
would still train.
That's not who he is anymore. Now
I got to get over.
Now he's the company man. Now he's the company man who's supposed to protect the company from the outsider guy. Now he's the son-in-law of Vince who's supposed to protect his family, which he did eventually work Steph and the kids into the promo about them having to cry, seeing him in the hospital.
Yeah.
He kind of worked, but it was a total afterthought after he
I'm not giving up wrestling.
Yeah, he's basically just said, like, I've always been a badass, and I've just been waiting for an excuse to be a badass again.
You see that guy over there? He stared at me wrong. It's on. I'm going to wrestle him in the ring.
Like, that's not his
That's my reason.
That's not his gimmick anymore. Now he's the corporate guy. He is the family guy.
That Lesnar guy in the crowd.
His reason
I'm the corporate assassin.
His reason to fight should be because he's pissed that he hurt Vince and because he's,
he made it personal again.
Right. Not because you've always been a badass and you've been looking for an excuse to fight somebody.
I've been a badass, but I've just been waiting in the shadows for the right time to come out.
I'm going over to visit Vince in the hospital. So, I mean, we're all going to see it, and Triple H will get his victory. So, because he does have to get over. Next up, we got to see a promo from the Shield, basically saying, Big Show, hey, you got one over us, but don't you dare forget about us. As we get ready to go into Mania, everyone talks about, the big stars, but don't forget, basically we're gonna make you remember us. I feel like there was more, but my memory is so out of it now.
They're obviously it feels like they're turning show, just so he can team with Sheamus and Orton.
Yeah.
They're turning show.
He's gonna be the X Factor,
right? For the Shield match at Mania, which is so weird. Like, the Shield guys have been top notch, but first it was about
Ryback.
Then they made it about Cena just because Cena didn't have anything to do.
Mm-hmm.
Then they kind of made it about Ryback again. Then they kind of made it about Sheamus. Then now they're like, oh, well, we need to turn show. So it's just a fucking mess.
But
Poor
how
guys.
big will it be if the Shield pulls out a victory over Sheamus, Orton, and Show? I know
they won't. It's come up at time.
Yeah, I know, but that would be just nice.
They got as strong as a start as anyone's gonna get. It's come up at Mania. They're doing the job.
And then it'll be finally someone has put a stop to the Shield.
Right.
And then it'll be like, well, now what? So.
I mean, it could happen. I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm just saying it.
I just hope they have something planned either way that they go.
Well, they already don't have anything planned right now.
Yeah.
They kind of like
scrambling to put people together.
Right.
Okay, we need these guys to be in a Mania match. So who
right.
can, let's put them against the Shield. That'll be fine. So, we'll see where it goes from there. Next up, we got to see Alberto Del Rio going up against Wade Barrett. Del Rio ends up getting the victory. Anything from this matchup?
Just another guy who shouldn't be jobbing if they want him to keep.
Yeah. I feel like they should be building, challengers for the Intercontinental and the U.S. title.
Bo Dallas.
Yeah, they completely just dropped him out of the picture. Like that would have been perfect for Mania.
Like they have their 3 marquee matches.
Yeah.
And that's what they're worried about.
Mm-hmm.
They fucked a lot of dudes' runs up to make way for these 3 matches. Not so much Punk and Taker, but the other 2.
Yeah.
But it's just so pretty bad, man. Like, have him come up in the Royal Rumble, do a good job, and
I'm not even. I mean, yeah, it sucks for Bo Dallas, but what about all these other guys who actually
yeah,
were
also
getting
who's
pushed?
been there longer. and
Ryback, who
they're-
they strapped the rocket to his back, and now he's just like
unless they're gonna pick
floating.
up all the stuff after WrestleMania.
Sheamus, who dropped the belt and is floating. Orton, who is floating, but who gives a fuck? I mean, but like they have all these guys who, like, those guys can be doing shit with each other. I mean, like, I don't know. It's like Cesaro. Like, you want Cesaro to be hot shit, then quit making him job to everybody who's above him. It's not that hard to keep them separated.
Yeah. So just give them, give them some challenges or something. Give them some challengers. Build. You've got 3 hours on Raw, 2 hours on SmackDown, an hour on Main Event, an hour on Superstars. Like, don't tell me there's not time for them to build something.
Well, the problem with that is, like, you've got too much of your time. It's too much of your time on Raw and on SmackDown are spent on the same guys.
Yeah. And half the show on SmackDown is, well, let's look back at what happened on Raw. Half the time on Main Event, well, let's look back at what happened on Raw.
Main Event's been a good show, and it's been a good show for building these mid-card guys.
I mean, even this week, they closed out the show by showing the Rock and Cena promo. So
I mean, true, but, like, that seems like the IC US show is Main Event.
Yeah. So
I mean, which is fine, but, like, you can't have them have a strong showing on your C show and then job him on your A show.
Yeah.
It, like, negates the whole thing.
Yep. But yeah, Del Rio ends up getting the victory to build towards his feud against Swagger. Next up, we got to see returning New Age Outlaws going up against Epico and Primo. This wasn't like a long match.
Not at all.
But it was nostalgic and it was fun. For the time that they were given, the New Age Outlaws appeared to be in pretty good shape. And they're also going to be returning next week, I believe, to go up against the Rhodes Scholars. So what were you guys' thoughts on the return of the New Age Outlaws?
I don't want to see these guys full time. I think that's a big mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not. Who knows? Maybe, like, they're so hot and cold with we wanted to do something with our tag division. It seemed important for 2 months, and now it's not important to us anymore. I was fine with these guys going over when I thought it was just like a feel good thing, where I was like, they came out. Yeah, they went over like an actual roster team, but it wasn't anybody that they were doing anything with.
Yeah.
So I was fine with it. It was just like, oh, it was feel good. It was nostalgia, like you said. It was inoffensive because it was short, and all they did was hit their signature spots, and that was fine.
Yeah.
Even in their promo, it gave you that like quick, fast feeling. It was like, haha, no, I'm just fucking with you. I know we just got a few minutes, so I'm not gonna stretch it out. Like, that was cool. I like that, but I don't think I'm in favor of seeing these guys like as
Part-time would be okay. Maybe once every couple months or so.
I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't even think I want like a
have them run the house show circuits or something, because they've been doing that for about a month now, I think.
I don't want to, even if it's a short run. I don't necessarily know that I want to see these guys.
Yeah. Okay.
What does that do for your tag division? You've got a bunch of tag teams you're already not using.
Yeah.
You're gonna job them to a team who's gonna get a short run.
I guess so.
That's what WWE does.
That's why I didn't bitch about the match in the first place, because I thought it was a one-time nostalgia feel-good thing.
And now they're bringing in another week.
Yeah.
I think that. I don't know what they're going to do if they keep on bringing them back, but I have a feeling that Road Scholars will go over them. Road Scholars go over them, give them a feud with New Age Outlaws. I don't know.
Yeah.
They split them up, brought them back together. So yeah.
Because the Road Scholars are reuniting for one night only, with the DX reuniting for one night only. I don't know. So yeah, it's ridiculous how, they've broke up the Road Scholars and they've reunited like 2 or 3 times already since then. At least on TV. I don't know how many times they do it at house shows. But that brings us into the main event, which saw CM Punk be victorious over Sheamus, Randy Orton, and The Big Show. I thought this was a typical, fatal 4-way match where 2 people get thrown out of the ring, and 2 guys battle in the ring, and then another guy breaks up the pin, throws one of the guys out, and then they battle for a while, so on and so forth, until a victor is crowned. But what were your guys' thoughts on it?
Well, I mean, that's pretty much the only way you can work a 4-way match unless you got a bunch of high spot guys who are going to do crazy shit while working off of each other. So I don't think that's necessarily like a bad thing that happened. The match was fine. It was a solid TV main event, and Punk was going over. I don't think anyone didn't see that.
Yeah.
Supposedly Shield jumped show after.
Yes, and gave him the triple power bomb. So whoa! So yes, but Tyler, what were your thoughts about Punk getting the victory?
I had a feeling that he would win.
Yeah.
Give him to Undertaker instead of all those other guys.
Yeah. So Punk wins the Fatal 4-Way. Undertaker comes out. They have a stare down, close out the show. And that's pretty much how they close out old school Raw. Got a little hot topic news for you guys. Hot topic. Rey Mysterio apparently has been injured again. But apparently he does not need surgery at this time. So it begs the question, is it time for Rey Mysterio to hang it up, to call it quits, to retire, just for the sake of his general health, so that he doesn't have to walk around, with a cane or, even in a wheelchair or something.
Probably a good idea.
No, I think he needs to hang around because I'm selfish and I want a proper.
I want to. I don't care if you hurt yourself.
I want a proper Ray Daniel Bryan feud before he hangs it up.
Okay, I think just for the sake of his safety,
Fuck your safety,
his health,
you want a Rey Mysterio Sin Cara feud.
The benefit of being there for his kids when they need him, you got to do what's best for you and your family, not necessarily what's best for the fans like Doug. Sorry, Doug.
No.
But I think he needs to hang it up because,
fuck your kids, man.
That's terrible.
I mean, don't fuck your kids, man.
That's even terrible. Okay, so
you were gonna say even terribler.
Terribler. So yeah, post your thoughts on if you think Rey Mysterio should or should not retire. We'll use that as our listener feedback for next week.
Well, okay, listen.
Or, I mean, people can quote about anything, but that would be a good topic to discuss.
No, it's not. It's open and shut case. I just give you the correct answer. No, feel free to give us feedback on any portion of the show.
Yes.
But to do that, you're going to make sure that you like our page. That's facebook.com/WNS podcast. And post it in the show thread that the show is actually posted in.
Right.
If you post it, I know Wrestling News Source .com's page posts it on theirs on their page, but we got a lot of shit to check and we don't always make it over there to check. So if you want to give us feedback, come to our page, like our page.
Been getting a lot of likes here lately.
Yes.
Yeah,
certainly appreciating that.
But yeah, any feedback, please leave it there, and we do appreciate it. And we know this week's show was pretty flat. These two dudes are near death, and we'll pick it up next week. It'll be a better show.
Definitely. Well, once we're all like hyped up and feeling good, you know how we do.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, if this week's show is your first time to tune in, come back next week and give us another chance.
Yeah, there you
shit
go.
is not so flat.
Give us another chance, promise. But now it's time to go into the Q&A portion of the show. Your questions and our answers. First question coming to us from Mike, asking, so how's the DDP yoga going? So Tyler, I'll let you take it away with this one.
It's been good.
Yeah.
Things popped up this week. I had to reschedule. We're going to reschedule because we were supposed to do it Monday, Wednesday,
and Friday.
Things came up.
Illnesses and.
So I'm going to try to do it tomorrow, Friday, and Sunday.
Yeah.
Get that in.
So we're going to make up for it.
It's pretty fun. It is work though. I mean, you sweat your ass off and you work your muscles and all that.
And
stuff.
what's good about it is you don't lift weights.
Yeah.
It's no resistance, or like not no resistance, no impact. So you're not damaging your knees or anything like that. Basically, what you're doing is you're tightening up your muscles and you're using your mind to create the resistance.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. I like how they do it. You start off with the breathing exercises to kick it off.
Yeah.
You start off with the Diamond Dozen, and it's really cool because when you get the program, it has a workout sheet that says, okay, on this day you're going to use this exercise. And then on this day, you're going to use this exercise, and so on and so forth. So it's really cool. So, you're not necessarily going to be working out for hours at a time. You know, like one day you'll do the Diamond Dozen, and that's 30 minutes, and then the next week you'll do Energy, and that's like a 25 or 29 minute workout. So, you know, it's a little bit of time out of your day, and if you can you know, keep your mind to it, then it's going to pay off. And I know after the first couple of days of us doing it, my body was sore for a while, and I was like, man, I didn't lift anything, I didn't do anything, but my body is sore, and I loved it. So once I get better, I'm getting right back into it, because, you know, I want to be able to do what they can do in those videos.
You know, eating healthier.
Yeah, that's going to be the biggest choice.
I've already lost like 4 pounds.
Nice. Yeah, that's the hardest thing to do for me, is just because, like, our work schedules are so hectic and so crazy that, you know, sometimes I don't have an option. You know, I don't have time to make a home cooked meal to eat healthy. So, you know, I figure as long as I make smarter choices, like if you go somewhere, get grilled chicken instead of fries, you know, instead of French fries, or order like a fruit cup or something like that, or get a chicken salad or something, you know, just try and make smarter choices. But yeah, so as of right now, the DDP yoga is going pretty good, and we're still hoping to have DDP on the show. So thanks for the question, Mike. Next question, and final question, coming to us from Ali, saying, hey guys, did you get a chance to check out Chris Jericho's new show? If so, what do you think? I checked it out and thought it was pretty good. I'm sure it'll get better with time.
I saw little pieces of it. All I saw was like one team, they were fighting, and one of them ripped a hydraulic cord from the arm of another one.
Yeah.
And Chris Jericho was just in the back, just watching everybody. That's all I saw.
Commentating.
No, he didn't say nothing.
Oh. How about you, Doug? Did you get a chance to see Robot Fighting League? Or?
I've seen both episodes. I didn't love it. It's weird. Like, the idea of two robots fighting is really cool, but when they actually get in the ring, it's like the strikes, they don't look that impactful when they're hitting each other, and maybe it's just not as visceral because it's not two people that you can see like wincing in pain or something like that. So maybe it just doesn't connect with my brain on that level. And
the Hollywood sparks that fly, you know?
Like, you'll see a really weak connect, but then they'll special effect in, like, these, like, sparks and blasts, like Daniel was saying. It just looked a little hokey at times. I don't like how they have, like, a rod that holds the robot up. I understand that if it's going to, you know, if it's getting hit, it's going to fall over.
Yeah,
but
gotta keep balance.
Make some fucking robots that are advanced enough to pick their asses up off the ground. And, you know, I mean, if you're going to have a robot fighting league.
This is more like Rock'em Sock'em Robots for adults.
Right, it is. It's millionaire Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
It's a little cheesy for my liking.
It is a little cheesy. It's not, like, you don't get that, like, fight feel that you think you're going to get going in. But that being said, you know, it's robots punching each other. What am I fucking not going to watch robots punching each other? Of course I'm going to watch robots punching each other. Again, don't love it, but again, like, are you not going to watch robots punching each other? Of course I'm going to watch robots punching each other.
So there you go. If you want to give the show a shot, check it out on Sci-Fi. They do, like, repeats after SmackDown, and it's also on Tuesday nights as well. So there you go. Yeah, give it a shot. But thanks for listening. Sorry for
going with low expectations.
Yeah. But thanks all for listening. Sorry that I'm feeling a little under the weather, and, you know, sort of been one of our more mellow shows, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I know we're flat this week. You know.
But thanks for sticking with us.
Yeah, if this is your first show, give us a shot next week and see what we're really all about. Leave us feedback on Facebook in our show. Like our page and leave it on our page, the feedback in the show thread, please.
Definitely. And make sure to check us out on iTunes, Wrestling News Source Podcast, on WrestlingNewsSource.com and WrestlingNewsSource.com on Facebook. You can find us, as Doug said, on Facebook, WNS Podcast, on YouTube, WNS Video. I already said iTunes.
Yeah. WNS Podcast for Twitter, and for the main site, WN Source.
Please leave us iTunes reviews. We appreciate the ones we've been getting. And we're also on Tout at WNS Podcast.
Tout the devil.
Yeah.
And check out Tyler's Harlem Shake video.
Oh Lord.
I want to publicly state I had no clue that happened. I had nothing to do with that.
It was all his
I was
idea.
not there as it happened.
It was all Doug's idea.
I was not
all
holding the
Doug's
camera. In fact, I've denounced Tyler as a friend.
Oh, that's messed up.
My involvement would have been like that one where the guy runs and punches the guy in the face before he gets the chance to start. That's what my part would have been.
That's pretty messed up, Doug. How could you do that?
I'm a dick.
Oh,
We'll see you guys next week.
there you go. For the
Later.
podcast crew, I am Daniel Herron.
Tyler Aber.
Oh yeah, I'm Doug, but I don't have anything to do with these guys.